Hey guys, welcome to another edition of The Watch Collector. My name's Ollie. Now, before we get into the obligatory wristwatch check and precisely where we are today, I don't know about you, but I give an awful lot of thought, not only to what I'm going to wear, but also what watch I'm going to wear, and particularly in regard to certain days. And there are some days that are more special than others. What material, what style, what dial, what configuration? Is it a chronograph? What's the heritage of that particular piece? Well, today the obligatory wristwatch check is going to be a clue as to where we are right now. And today I'm wearing the Laurent Ferrier Sport Auto in blue. So let me show you the first three special bikes that I want to take you through. Ducati is of course known for its super sports bikes and now winning MotoGP for twice in a row, but it didn't always go so well for them. But here we have one of their very first bikes that included their legendary desmodromic valves. This is the Ducati 900 Supersport, one of the first bikes to contain a trellis frame and also using the engine as a stress member of the bike. So this is from the early 90s. To give you an idea of the power output of this machine, it's around 90 horsepower. Then we move to what perhaps most people might think is the most iconic of Ducati's super sport bikes. This is the 916. This is the very special one. This is an SP3 and an homologation special. And so what manufacturers need to do is they need to create bikes on which their race bikes are based and sell them to the public. That's what it means by being homologated. This one is number 131 of 500 off the production line. Super rare bike, and in terms of the iconic status of this particular machine, just the look of it is just phenomenal. And then we have another example of how Ducati has really pushed forward in terms of its not only its design language but also its power output. So the 916 SP3 is around 140 horsepower. This, which is a collaboration with Lamborghini, the Street Fighter V4, 208 horsepower. Come and look at the livery on this. It is absolutely spectacular. Beautiful lime green, full gloss carbon. I mean, even the accents on the winglets are absolutely beautiful. And it's one of these bikes that, when you think about it in your head, I think those colours, surely they can't work. But as soon as you see them in the flesh, it is stunning. Having looked a little bit about the history of Ducati and how it's evolved from its super sport bikes, what they've since done is they've moved into kind of the more muscle sector. I guess what most people would determine as rivals to the Harley and Davidson. And what they've come up with is Diavel. And here we've got the standard Diavel. I say standard, V4 power, 165 horsepower, 240 mil section rear tyre. This thing has got a massive rear tyre to make sure that you can put the power down. In fact, actually, these bikes are the quickest accelerating bikes, 0 to 90 miles an hour, in the entire Ducati range. Faster accelerating than a Panigale V4S, because it's able to put that power down through that huge rear section. This is, if you're going to call it standard Diavel in black, this is going to set you back a cool £25,000. Come and look at the details in there. Even the way they've done the exhaust, it's like 4 shotguns. So that's your standard. But if standard isn't good for you, let's take you to this one. Now, as some of you may know, Ducati is actually a member of the Audi group. What's also a member of the Audi group, just like we looked at Lamborghini earlier, Bentley. So on this one, this is a limited edition of 500 units, beautiful green Bentley paintwork, completely redesigned body, full carbon, this time in matte as opposed to gloss. Same engine, but completely different look. So instead of 25,000 for the standard Diavel, this is tipping the scales of over 60,000, but I'm afraid all sold, you can't buy one. There's one more I want to show you, which is even more special than this one. So we've seen the standard Diavel, we've seen the Diavel for Bentley. Now we're going to see the Diavel for Bentley Mulliner. Now some of you may know the Mulliner is the ultra luxury version of the Bentley, if there is such a thing, fully bespoke to whoever orders that particular car, and this is no different. Absolutely stunning blue metallic paint on this, full matte carbon. This is not a limited edition of 500, it's a limited edition of 50. This beauty had a sticker price of over 80,000, and again, you can't buy it, all sold out. Completely bespoke bodywork again, completely bespoke exhaust note, but still got that massive fat 240 section rear tyre to put down that 165 horsepower. This thing, or the Diavels in general, are beasts, but tell you what, seeing these bikes in the flesh, and particularly the way they've done the paint finishes, well, you can really see where the money's been spent. I mentioned it was a special day, and before I get to the reason why, I want to go back to the reason why I chose this particular watch, the Laurent Ferrier Sport Auto. Now, Laurent Ferrier obviously made his name spending 37 years at Patek. He also made his name competing in Le Mans, and he came third in the final Le Mans that he competed in. And so for me, bearing in mind where we are and what I'm collecting today, the real heritage of the idea of him creating the Sport Auto in homage to that frankly epic life experience that he must have had at Le Mans, and that racing heritage really sort of sang to me, and so that's why I chose this particular piece. So I'm really excited today to collect the 7th generation Ducati Panigale V4S, and let's go have a look. Super excited to be collecting the 7th generation Ducati Panigale V4S. As soon as it was released earlier on this year, I absolutely loved the new front of the nose. For me, it screams modern, contemporary, bang up to date styling. I know that it got a bit of let's say not quite the love that other people have shown it, but and I thought about it first of all, but as soon as I saw it, I absolutely loved it. But for me, actually, it was all the updates they made to the previous generation Panigale. They've given it more flex in the chassis. They've updated the electronics. You've got, I think, controversially, you may not like this, now a double-sided swing arm instead of a single-sided swing arm. But architecturally, what they've done to create this, in my view, piece of art is absolutely superb engineering. This bike is 216 horsepower. It's under 200 kilos in weight, wet, but without fuel. It will go like a rocket ship. I haven't ridden it yet. This is the first time I've seen it. I'm kind of taking it in. But wow, I'm incredibly excited to be able to take her for her first ride. I have to extend massive thanks to Ducati, and particularly Kevin, who was amazing in terms of helping me spec the bike and making sure that it was one of the very first ones that they delivered. And they've been incredibly accommodating in letting us have a look around some of the very special pieces of machinery that they've got in stock. And also, I say in stock, even these are client bikes, some of these, so they're not even for sale. But that's the Panigale V4S combined with the Laurent Ferrier Sport Auto. That to me is a match made in heaven. I'd love to know what you think, not only about the bike. Do bikes and watches go together? Personally, I think I've made it clear that I think they do. What watch would you have worn for this kind of collection day? Would love to know in the comments. Again, thanks so much to Kevin and Ducati. That's enough for now. We'll see you next time.